Can everyone hear me? Hi, good morning. Thank you for being here. Welcome to New Orleans, the Essence Festival of Culture 2026, and welcome to Essence Authors. So I'll jump right in. We're talking about moving from survival to purpose. And Dr. Q and Damon, Demon,
Damon.
Damon, we talked about this backstage, I'm sorry. Your work focuses on the relationships that have aided you in your journey, helped you in your journey. And Dr. Q, your book centers on how to improve your emotional intelligence and how to in handling hard times, challenging times in life. I'd like to know what inspired both of your books.
So I'll start first. Well, good morning, Essence. Come on,
Yeah.
talk back to me. Good morning, good morning. We're all here, beautiful. We're here for the culture, so super happy to be here. I will say that this is a reunion for me. So in 2024, I was scheduled to speak here at Essence, and right before I was scheduled to speak, I had a post-surgery nightmare. I was down for 90 days. I couldn't walk, and I lost my entire independence. My sutures unraveled, and so I had a large war wound, as they said, and I had to have a nurse come in and take care of me for 90 days. And in those 90 days, I sat and I journaled, and that's what developed was the book Beautiful Burdens. And what I decided to do was, instead of cry the woe is me, it was more like, whoa, this is me. And so I turned that pain into purpose, and that is what motivated the book Beautiful Burdens.
It's so wonderful to be here, and I just met these two young ladies and feel like they're already family. So it's beautiful. But it's beautiful to be here in New Orleans with all you incredible people. Friends of the Good was written because I lived this improbable but possible life where grew up in poverty, had a heroin addict as a stepfather, lived in a trailer in rural North Carolina. And then got just an exceptional set of breaks where my first job out of college was assistant to the White House Chief of Staff in the Clinton administration, went to Harvard Business School, spent 21 years at one of the largest hedge funds in the world, and that allowed my wife and I to become philanthropists. And we also went through extraordinary pain, having a family member be suicidal for 3.5 years. And through every one of those steps in my life, there's been extraordinary people that have pulled me, that have pushed me, that have helped me along that journey. And, I think everybody in this room, has goals, right? Does everybody have goals here in this room? But one of the questions that, we should all be asking ourselves are, who are the actual people that are going to help us achieve those goals? And oftentimes we ignore the fact that the people that are in our circles actually shape our lives. And so Friends of the Good challenges us all to think about who is pushing and pulling us, who should be not in our lives, and who should be.
Thank you. Okay, so Dr. Q, it's easy to tap into your emotional intelligence if you have it when things are going well,
Yep.
right? Things
Yep.
are kind of going your way. But what advice or what tips can you share with us about how to tap into your emotional intelligence during challenging times?
Good question. First, I'd like to see a show of hands. Who can tell me the 4 competencies of emotional intelligence? Anyone know all 4? Wonderful. I'm a teacher at heart, so I'm going to educate you. The first competency is self-awareness. That is, I'm feeling angry right now. The next competency is self-management. And that is,
no drums allowed in the building.
no drugs. No drugs.
Repeat. No drones are allowed.
No drones.
Inside the convention
Drones.
center.
I thought you
No
were saying
drugs, no drums, no drones. None of them.
None of those.
None of those.
The D's.
None of the D's. And so I'll start again though. So the first one is self-awareness. And that self-awareness is like, wow, I am really mad right now. The next one is then self-management. Because I'm mad, I'm gonna take a breather before I snap on somebody.
Good morning. Important notice. No drones are allowed. No drones allowed in the convention center.
Something or somebody don't want y'all to get these 4. So let me run them real quick. Self-awareness, then there's self-management. Then the next one is social awareness. That's when you're looking around the room and you're like, oh, my friend is sad. Oh, my boyfriend is not feeling himself today. Then there's relationship management. Now that I know he's not feeling himself, let me have a conversation with him to see like what's really going on. When we're not aware of those 4 competencies, it's really difficult to navigate grief, and it's really difficult to navigate trying times. And so the more that we practice, because practice never makes perfect, it makes permanent. The more you practice, the more permanent that muscle can be, so that you can say, I'm having a self-awareness moment now, so that I can self-manage. And really what this book does is every single chapter, I tell you a little bit about my own grief and which of those competencies I'm kind of navigating through, so that you can start practicing how to navigate through those. And I would say when you're going through a really, really hard time, whether it's a breakup, whether it's a loss of a loved one, whether it's finances that are building up in your bills. The first one is to have self-awareness. How are you feeling? Own it, sit in it, and then you can move to step 2, which is self-management.
Thank you. So, Mr. Martin, I'm just going to say Mr. Martin. How does someone find friends of the good when they feel isolated? Because I think intuitively you feel like you lean on your friends when you're going through a challenge. But I think most of us actually retract and we want to isolate when we're going through something. Like, oh, I'm in my feelings, I don't want to go out, I don't want to go to brunch. So what's something, so you have these great friends, right? You found this village, this circle. How do you actually lean on them when you should?
Well, I mean, the reality is this has been deemed a time of loneliness and despair. And there are so many people that are isolated and alone. The other thing that I would say that ties into Dr. Q's statements is that no one is spared. We all are going to go through some form of tragedy. You're going to have loss. You're going to have a death of someone that you love. You're going to have disappointment in your life. And what is key is that you have a circle of people around you that can support you in those things, and that you've assessed before those times get hard that you have people that you can count on. But oftentimes when people go into depression and deal with anxiety, they tend to isolate. The key thing is to try to tap into your network and your community, whether it be a church group or even just texting someone who's in your circle and say, how you doing? And almost force yourself to be in community, and you'll see that you're feeling just a little bit better just by being, I feel good sitting here. And so being with quality people and having them be part of your life is, I think, one of the most essential elements. The last thing that I would say is that, your most curated version of yourself tends to be the most lonely version of yourself. What do I mean by that? When you're trying to keep the wall of the people that love and care for you, care about you, up, instead of being vulnerable about what's actually really going on in your life, just letting people know, hey, I'm actually feeling lonely. I'm feeling sad. The people who truly care about you will actually reach out and say, hey, let's go get some coffee. Let's go play basketball. Let's go do something, double dutch, whatever it is. And that can break you out of that cycle.
That just reminds me of a quote that I coined, and it's, I'm 100% me 100% of the time. And I love what you said about the best version of yourself is the self that can acknowledge, I'm not good right now. I'm sad right now. I'm lonely right now. So that you can have that village come and provide that support. I love that.
I love that too, because it's practical, right? It's not just a hokey, go journal, go take a bubble bath. What's a habit that both of you have and that you developed over time that has shaped who you are today?
The habit that I've developed is treating people with dignity and respect. And when you do that, you know, community is not found, it's built. And you have to invest in relationships for those relationships to invest back in you.
And I didn't understand my grandmother when I was growing up, but now I am more seasoned and still sexy. And I realize that I have to start my mornings praising Jesus Christ of Nazareth every single
Amen.
day.
Amen.
It grounds me, it keeps me focused. I'm corrected in the word when I am wrong, and it gives me the empowerment that I need to shake up the earth because I am a shift shaker, and I'm here to do some damage with what God has given me to do.
Amen. Can I just add to that? My pastor gave me this daily confessional that every morning I wake up and it starts with, "Today is a good day, for this is the day the Lord has made." And that's the first thing that I read. And so I'm feeding into myself rather than letting, you know, social media feed into me. And that sets the stage for every day.
I love both of those responses because, let's be honest, so many of us, the first thing we do when we wake up in the morning is pick up our phones and look at social media. So to wake up in the morning, to set the tone for your day, to thank God, and then acknowledge that this is going to be a good day. Love that, right? Okay, so what is something, there are going to be so many conversations happening this weekend. What's something that you want people to take away if they remember nothing else from this particular conversation? You want them to take home with them. And so this is a two-part question. Why should they, what is something that they need to read in your book that maybe, you know, we can't expand on now because of time?
I think for me, there's pictures in this book of my wounds. And I was really intentional to be vulnerable to let you see how bad I was, how down I was. Because I think oftentimes we glamorize our ugly and we glamorize our pain because it is unconventional to be honest and tell people that I'm really bad. So I wanted people to see that I may be on Essence today, but at that moment I was really, really bad. And I made a choice to live my life through the lens of beauty. And that's not for the easy, but it's for the courageous. And I'll say this really quickly. My pastor, shout out to Dr. Qiana LEary of New Light in Houston, Texas. She's doing a series right now called Watch Your Ear Gates and Your Eye Gates. And it's really important that you pay attention to what you consume because it manifests in your heart, it comes out in your mouth, and then it becomes a part of your life. And so as much as I love watching Love Island, I can't watch that mess right now because it's starting to overconsume me. It's starting to take character and who I am. And so when you want to live a life that's beautiful and you want to overcome those burdens, then you have to also be mindful of what is it that you're consuming on a day-to-day basis, and you need to begin to guard your ears and guard your eye gates.
And I would say, you know, success, resiliency, and even well-being, those are not individual achievements. Those happen in community, and you know, each of us deserve to have quality people in our lives to create joy and friendship and love. And you only do that by really assessing who are the people that are around you. And when you have a good assessment of who are the friends of the good in your life, you can clearly understand that when those moments come that are tough, that you have people that are truly there for you, but they're also going to celebrate your wins with you as well.
Thank you both. This was an impactful conversation. Do you all agree? Yes. Okay, so thank you, and enjoy the rest of the discussions we have lined up later today.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
And if this wasn't clear before, both of their books are available for purchase in our, yes, in our books.